My name is Rick Ulfik. I'm the founder of We the World and the We campaign at we.net. We're so excited that you're joining us on the Welcome to We show. We the World is a global coalition building organization with 11 campaigns for change. You can take action with us by going to we.net. On the Welcome to We show, we have 3 goals: to inspire, inform, and involve you in creating a world that works for all. And on this show, we ask that all important question: what can we do together that we can't do on our own to create a more peaceful, sustainable planet and civilization? On today's show, we'll be hearing Climate Collaboratory words of wisdom from some extraordinary folks: Shannon Crossbear, Adrian Alvarez, a 13-year-old climate activist, and Jim Graywolf Petruzzi from the White Otter Academy. So let's bring in Sue Blythe to tell us more about what she's got planned for World Unity Week. And she is our co-host today. Sue Blythe coordinates We the World's campaign for the environment. She is the founder of the Climate Collaboratory, a pilot project of We the World and the University of Florida Extension. Welcome to the broadcast, Sue Blythe.
Thank you so much, Rick Ulfik. And it's great to be here. I'm really excited about this program tonight because it brings in the really big picture of what's going on in our world and what we as individuals can do to help make a world that works for all. So you mentioned that we're with the Climate Collaboratory, and over the last year, we've been bringing people in to tell their own stories. We figure everybody alive on this planet now has a story to tell about this time in human history when everything is changing. The climate is changing, our social systems are changing, and we're just wondering what is going on and how can we make sense of all of this. And so we're bringing in some voices tonight that will help us with that. And hopefully we can come to a little bit of an understanding. So I'd like to introduce, actually all of our guests tonight are with a group that we call Tomorrow's Dreamers. And it's youth and elders who are helping to dream up a way that we can work together for a better planet. Actually, what we're trying to do is make the world work for 100% of humanity and the community of life on Earth. And that's Earth, our home. So we are working together. Let's see what we can figure out tonight in our conversation. And so I'd like to welcome Shannon Crossbear, who is coming in from northern Minnesota. Come on in, Shannon.
Yeah, thanks, Sue. I'm really excited to be here and to have this conversation. My name, as Sue said, is Shannon Crossbear. I am located on the shores of Lake Superior, the homelands of the Ojibwe people. And I'm coming to you from the middle of the boreal forest on beautiful Lake Superior, the cleanest source of fresh water on our continent, and the largest source of fresh water. So yeah, so I was, today Sue was talking about, what can we do that, what do we hear about this particular time? And as I was thinking about that, I was thinking about my friend, Born in a Cloud of Smoke, because it is she and many of the elders like her that really told me about this particular time. And I knew we were going to be talking about kind of the prophecies and what we learned from the stories and Sue is talking about, we're collecting the stories now, but we have stories that go back generation upon generation upon generation from all peoples, from all places. And so hearing some of those stories that might be able to give us a little information as we are in this particular time. So I'm going to see if she will come in and say a few words and tell us what she thinks. Okay, born in a cloud. Oh, for sure. Amin in the way, Maganak. Hello, my relatives. I'm glad to see you. I was thinking about this today when Shannon was telling me. She says, what about those stories you used to tell? And so I was thinking about this time. I thought about it before I came because I was out there in the outside watering the plants. We haven't had rain in a long, long time. We're worried there's smoke in the air from forest fires. I bet you've been hearing about those things, about the earth heating up, about this time. Seems like when I was young, I heard what they said. They told me, those grannies that I hung out with, they told me about this time. They used to say, oh, my girl, they'd say, when you get to be older, you're gonna have to pay for water. I thought they're crazy. What are they talking about, pay for water? There's lots of water right out there. But they were right. Here we are, paying for water. No clean water. Places where there's no water at all. Yeah, they told about this time. They said there would be a time when the human beings would forget what it meant to be a human being. And things would be looking pretty bad for life on Earth. But they said there was another thing that was going to happen. At that same time, there was going to be some young people coming in, a next generation, the seventh generation they talked about. That seventh generation was going to come to the earth and start remembering what it means to be a human being. Start remembering that we're related to everything and that we have to take care of things. And so that's the stories. They said we had a choice to make. That all these different things, all these different stories, they all talk about this time, but they don't talk about what happens next. Because what happens next is up to us as the human beings. When we mend the sacred poop of humanity, then we can begin to, mend all the things that we need to mend. It's all related. Okay, I'm gonna listen to what my relative, my brother there, Jim, has to say, because I bet you he's got some stories he comes with too. Okay, talk to you later.
Thank you, Born in a Cloud of Smoke. Yeah, that's 7 generations, 7 generations. We've been told by the prophecies we always pay attention to 7 generations forward. We don't do anything if it's going to negatively affect them. And these days, of course, we're negatively affecting everything. So what do we do about that? Well, one thing we do is change. We have to change. Change is absolutely mandatory. All the prophecies that Born in a Cloud of Smoke is talking about that I've experienced from cultures around the world talk about this time. And Born in a Cloud of Smoke is absolutely right. They don't talk about anything beyond that. because we don't know until we decide. We're deciding right now. Do we stay here on Mother Earth as a human race, or do we leave like the dinosaurs did? We've got a lot of people now who are ready and willing to make these changes. We have a lot of people who are not. It's important that we lovingly and peacefully come together to do these things. And so some of the prophecies talk about how the young people will lead in these times. And when action needs to be taken, we're seeing the young people step up. There's others that talk about the old ones, the elders. I guess I'm an old one now too, but even older than me, who will be there for guidance, who will be there for support. We're told how the indigenous people will step back in and remind us and reteach us how we used to live in balance with our planet. And they'll do it again so we can start practicing those ways. How the grandmothers will step in for the love and the empathy we need to get this going. All these things are part of the hoop. And while they'll be happening sometimes separately, they're one big connection. They all have to happen together. Prayer and ceremony are critical, but so are education and action, because there's not a lot of time left. There's plenty of time to do what we need to. Every prophecy I've ever heard has said that. Time will not run out as long as we're taking the actions and doing the things we need to make the changes. That means us, it means all of us. It means Born in a Cloud of Smoke, it means Rick, Sue, myself. It especially means Adrian, who we'll hear from shortly, because he's going to be here much longer than us. So coming together and doing these things is so, so critical. We have to respect the Earth Mother again. We've lost respect. We forgot what it means. I hear people now all over the place. I've had many today talking about how there's not too many people on the planet. We can feed them all. We're pushing 8 billion people. That's not accurate. Just because we could do something doesn't mean we should. There's too many of us. We consume too much. We should have, even science tells us, no more than 3 billion, 3.5 billion people on this planet. That also respects the other animals. And so now in this time of change, let's all keep coming together and do what we need to make the changes. And I'm turning it over to, I guess, back to Sue.
Thank you, Jim. And yeah, so these stories, I love to hear the stories from the indigenous cultures. And I think about, so what stories did I hear when I was growing up? I didn't hear about 7 generations. In my family, we didn't talk much about this kind of thing. And then I realized, oh yeah, I heard about that in church. I grew up as a Christian, and they talked about a time really when Jesus would return, and that there would be this huge transition and we'd have peace on earth. Well, won't that be nice? And so I was, never really thought a whole lot about it until I learned about the Baha'i faith. And it said that that time is now, that right now we're at a point where the peace that has been promised, not only in Christianity, but all the world's religions. They talk of a time of peace, just like Jim and Born in a Cloud of Smoke and Shannon do as well. That there is a time coming when we will have this great transition into something totally new. And as a Baha'i, the quote that I love is, soon will the old world order be rolled up and a new one spread out in its stead. So I feel like what we're doing here is part of that process. And who knows what is coming, what this new, really a global civilization, what it will look like, what it will feel like. But I know it's going to be different from where we are now, because we're feeling so much disunity. And when we can have a sense of unity and peace in our own personal lives, with the people who live with us, our families, our communities, with other cultures. So we're learning to live together on the planet with people who are very different from us. And that's a wonderful gift. And then learning to live in harmony with nature, which is really what I feel like we have forgotten. Cloud of smoke. We just need some help with that. And so the whole earth has systems that need our love and care. And we can do this together in a way that we never could before in our separation. And then I think about the unity of the whole universe. You know, it's really just one thing, whatever this is. We're all living in the same reality. And we have to just share our understandings of what this is about and what we need to do. And my thing is, let's find out what each of us is called to do. But I feel like I was with some people yesterday that were talking about the global brain, you know, the sense of consciousness that is available to us. Some people call it God, and others, you know, there's just lots of different names for this. But as we come together to live as a human family on this one little planet, we can get that sense of oneness. So my thing is helping young people to live their dreams. And so it's just my great privilege to introduce my friend Adrian Alvarez. And Adrian is going to be talking with us in his role. He's an interviewer on his own YouTube station that's called Adrian Alvarez Earth. So come on in, Adrian.
Hello, I am Adrian Alvarez and I am 13 years old. And yeah, I would like to start off by asking, born in a cloud of smoke, what does it mean to be a human, like a human being? I remember that you talked about this, that we have forgotten how to behave like a good human being. You talked about this. Could you explain a bit more on how we could do this?
Oh, yes, grandson. I'm so happy to be able to talk to you again. So that's a great question. Because before we met these the people that came to this continent long time ago, that's what we called ourselves, was the human beings. That's what we named ourselves. And we know that as a human being, we called ourselves the two-legged because we were the ones that walked on two legs. And as a human being, it meant that we understood that the difference that we had was to be caretakers of this earth, that was our job as human beings, to care for the earth and to care for each other, that we lived in community. So being a human being and remembering that we're related to everything, to all life, to our brothers, our sisters, our daughters, our sons, our grandsons, all of that, but also to those other beings on this planet. Everything, everything. From the water behind you there, and the mountains and those trees, and to those that swim in those waters. You know, they're a part of this big cycle of life, and even the earth that you walk on. So if you think about it, just think for a minute. When you breathe that air, that's the same air that your ancestors would breathe. The same thing when you walk on that ground. That ground is made up of your ancestors. You are truly related to all that is. And when you remember that as a human being, you care for those things, that's when you build a relationship. And we take care of what we care about. So I'm glad you, does that help as I talk about a human being?
Yes, I now understand it way more. We need to take care of this planet because, yeah, like you said, many generations, many generations have walked, breathed, drank here before, and we need to keep it alive and healthy and nice for the next generations. And I have a question. How can other people or the people watching, what can they do to help maintain our earth, maintain its beauty and bounty?
Well, that's a good question too. So I think everybody, remember what Sue was saying earlier? She said everybody has a story. Everybody has something that they can do. If they look into themselves, they know. Are you someone that's like, oh, I'm really good at picking up that paper somebody put on the ground there? Or, oh, I'm really good at thanking the water. Or, oh, I'm really good at being able to take and reuse something and think about a new way of doing things. Everybody has a piece of this. Everybody can do something. Just today, I saw a young boy and he was picking up trash. There was somebody just not thinking, throwing things on the ground, and he was picking it up. And he created a contest for everybody that picked up trash. They could make art out of it. And then the winner of the art person would get a special treat. I thought that was a great idea. So things like that, finding your place. And one of the things is that you can go on this 11 days, or you can go to the We campaign, we.net. How simple is that? Even me with my old brain can remember we.net. So we can just go right there and we can say, what can I do? What can we do together? Oh, thank you, Adrian, for asking that question. I bet you other people have an answer too.
Um, those are really nice. Those are things that I think everyone could do. And I thought it was a really nice idea to create art from trash because nothing is really trash. Like you can find a use of everything. And I would like to add another thing that others can do is teach their friends or family to do what we are doing right now or what others are doing. Because the more people we have, the bigger team we will all be. Now, I would like to take it to Jim, and I would like to ask, do you have any, I heard you talk a lot about prophecies. Do you have any specific one that you grew up with or one that motivates you?
That's a good question. You know, Adrian, there's a lot of them that I've heard and understood over the years. But I guess for me personally, the one that sustains me the most, that drives me the most, is my own vision that I had about 20 years ago now on my first vision quest. The vision quest is where one of your elders, your teachers, put you up on a mountain for 4 days, 3 nights, 4 days. No food, no water, and you just allow things to come to you. And the vision I had then was for a group of places around North America. And the name that came to me was Sanctuaries of the Earth Mother, which is a nonprofit that I'm part of now. These places would be places where we would all come and people of different cultures would come and teach what they know. So when this time became what it is now, we'd have places where we could go learn. We'd have places where people who have never heard this stuff could come and sit and actually learn and practice, and then take what they know and take it back out to their communities. And so that to me was also part of all different people coming together to share their thoughts. And that in itself is one of the biggest prophecies out there, that when this time came, all the different colors would come together, the colors of human beings, and each would share his or her area of expertise. So it is said that the Native American people kept the ceremonies, and they would bring the ceremonies back at this time. Other races, other colors brought in other aspects, which is happening now. So we can share these people, these practices, and learn from them. And so I'm still waiting for my prophecy to completely activate. And you know what? If I pass on and I go into the spirit realm and it hasn't completely come about, that's okay. Our prophecies don't necessarily happen within our own time frame. One of my favorite teachers is Black Elk. Black Elk was an incredible teacher who died just 1 month before I was born. And at the end of his life, one great teaching he left at the end was, he felt like he hadn't accomplished everything he wanted to, because all of his vision had not yet become real. And he was wrong, because it's become real since that point. And so we just put out there what we can. Coming together is important in every prophecy. And that's the piece I think we need to do.
Jim, do you think that we are in the right track to complete this vision of yours and this vision and these prophecies? Do you think we're on the right track?
Oh, that's another great question. Actually, I do. I believe some of, and a lot of this is Mayan prophecy, that as long as we did what we needed to do, some of this also comes from Aboriginal people, that getting to that place where we become a peaceful earth, become a sustainable earth, is already done. It's already in there. It's already written in the universe. But it's up to us to activate that. And I think we are doing that. You know, I look at people like you, at your age, doing interviews and getting involved in groups. I look at people like Greta Thunberg, leading millions of young people out there to say we have to change. And I know that's telling me we are on the right track. Not an easy track, but the right track.
Yeah, that helps a lot relieve the pressure, knowing that we are on the right track, even though we might not see a change right now. At least we're on the right track. And in the future, maybe in a year, 10 years, at least in the future, we will see the change and we will see that this vision is no longer a vision, but a reality. And when you mentioned Greta Thunberg, that reminded me that Sue mentioned that some people, like, we need to find what we are born to do. And I would like to ask Sue, how do we find what we were born to do? For example, Greta, she loves doing these marches. She brings a lot of millions of kids around the world to fight for a cause. I like doing interviews. So Sue, how can others out there who are currently lost or don't know what to do, how can they find what was made for them?
Wow. You ask good questions, Adrian. I would like to say that I think that it's in every one of us to be a change maker. And the way that we do that is by finding going down inside of each one of us and finding the peace that people have been searching for and finding throughout history. And so if, you know, in some cultures it's through prayer, and others are together with, it might be meditation. For some people, it's going out into nature, but just getting into a place where you are really kind of listening, and what I mentioned earlier, this global brain, the higher consciousness, the God, whatever we're going to call it, comes in through us. I mean, it's always in and through us because we are part of it, I believe. And so we are learning to listen. And it's really, I think for me individually, it happens in quiet times, that it's a listening process. People can pray, but you have to really listen. And when you do that, you find that in your life, you are drawn to different things. You might be a wonderful interviewer. Somebody else might be a magnificent artist, maybe even a recycle artist. And so we have, so many ways of expressing ourselves and finding a way to say clearly who we are, who I am, and what I love to do. And for me, Jim talked about having a vision. My vision really came in when I was about 40 years old. And so it doesn't, it's a process. It's a process. And what I figured out for myself was that what I wanted to do was teach peace through children's songs. And so I have been trying in different ways to do that for all these years. And it turns out that we're working on that in a wonderful way through a community-wide program that I'm working on with the University of Florida and We the World. And this Climate Collaboratory has a story that I can't wait to tell. So that's something I'm planting. And actually part of that story is that we have 11 gardens of global unity. And that's coming from We the World, which celebrates 11 days of global unity. And actually, that's a vision of a man who just happens to be right here with us. So I'm going to ask Rick if you would tell us a little bit about your vision for 11, how you came up with that, how you found your passion.
Wow. Well, that's a big question. And thank you, Adrian, for interviewing all of us about our passions, our missions in life. And I guess what happened with me is that I started volunteering with organizations around around the New York City area in the 1990s. And what happened with, because I was a musician at the time, and I was thinking, what good is a music career if the whole world is going down the tubes? So I thought maybe I could contribute something myself by volunteering with groups that were helping to create a better world. And one thing that they all said was, we're doing great work, but why are we doing it on our own? Why are we doing it in such in isolation? Why is the whole movement so fragmented? So that gave me the idea to start an organization that's based on collaboration. And so way back in 1998, I started We the World, and it's really based on this idea of people and organizations coming together to create a better world, and in fact, a world that works for all. And in 2004, we launched something called 11 Days of Global Unity. And we did it with the help of some people who themselves had built their careers on creating a better world. People like Jane Goodall, Deepak Chopra, Barbara Marx Hubbard, Archbishop Desmond Tutu created a video for us. And we had like 125 events simultaneously around the world to launch 11 Days of Global Unity. So that's now 17 years ago. And each year we're doing this annual event from September 11th through September 21st. And what has happened over the years is the creators of 11 Days of Global Unity got together and created 11 themes to go with those 11 days. And those 11 themes now have become 11 campaigns for change. And we have now hundreds of organizations that have signed up to collaborate with us on one or more of these campaigns. And I'll just say them just so people get a sense of the whole scope of the 11 campaigns, the 11 days, and now the 11 gardens of global unity, where people can add their own seeds to those gardens, so that we can see what people want to create on their own for these 11 themes and 11 campaigns. So they are unity, interdependence, which Shannon is coordinating, environment, which Sue is coordinating, economic justice, health, children and youth, women, human rights, freedom, disarmament, and peace. That's 11 campaigns to transform our world. And I just want to mention one new campaign that we are launching very soon. It's called the We Power campaign, and we're going to start in the United States. I'll share my screen to talk about that a little bit. Is that okay? Okay. So let's see. Okay. So it's so starting in the United States, we call this We Power America. And I want to just mention that even though we are always thinking globally, the reason that we're starting this in the United States is because the US is one of the major polluters on the planet in terms of greenhouse gases, pollution from fossil fuels, all kinds of things that affect the whole planet. And also we the world, I'm sorry, and also America is has a tremendous influence on the rest of the whole planet in terms of culturally, economically, militarily, all of those ways. America has a tremendous influence. So if we can help America to make that transition to renewable, non-polluting energy systems as being the primary energy system for our country, then that will be a tremendous influence on the whole planet. And at the same time, we would like to encourage and support and inspire sister movements around the world, like We Power Brazil, or We Power India, or We Power Guatemala. So it's a renewable energy media campaign and movement, and it's through the power of we that society can be transformed. And the mission of We Power America is to mobilize at least 2 million people to create the pivotal groundswell needed to build public support and political will for the creation of massive green jobs programs and investment in innovative green infrastructure projects, which are crucial for a livable future. We want to build a narrative and media message that clearly informs millions of Americans about the tremendous health, economic, environmental, and security benefits that renewable energy as the primary energy system will bring to the United States. And at the same time, we want to powerfully address the extreme political polarization in the US with a unifying message about we and the common good that provides a compelling path away from the us versus them mentality. So we are shifting the narrative around climate. We can create a breakthrough for a regenerative future by combining 3 compelling strategies: targeted regional media campaign with TV and radio ads, public service announcements, and press conferences, local on the ground organizing with town hall meetings with elected officials and community leaders, public forums, college campus talks, concerts, civic actions, and rallies, and an inspired, unifying message that focuses on we and the common good for the uninterrupted power for all. We've been working closely with people like Bill McKibben, 350.org, and Nobel laureate Desmond Tutu and Jane Goodall over the years. And we invite anyone watching this to become an endorser and to be included in our social action directory, promoted to millions of people. Once we launch the We Power America campaign, and this social action directory will be promoted during the upcoming 11 days of global unity in September. So if you send an email to wepower@wetheworld.org, then we will connect and go forward to collaborate on this program and 11 days of global unity, which is coming up. So there you go. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Rick. And I thank you for your seed idea that we are just so pleased to plant in the Garden of Environment. And we'll be taking a look at that in September when we get there. That'll be on the 3rd day of the 11 days. So that means on September 13th is when we focus on the environment. So what I'm wondering is, dear Adrian, I wonder if you have a seed idea that you'd like to place in our gardens of global unity.
Well, I think I've already planted 2 of them, actually. One of them is a project that Sue and I have worked together on, and that is the Together We Will Dream On challenge. And here we challenge anyone watching or anyone in the panel right now to express their own dreams as a form of art. So like a drawing, a painting, a poem, a photograph, to describe your dream or your vision of what you want the world to be. To find more information or to post your dreams, you can go to our blog post. And if you wanna go one more step, on Instagram, we have a hashtag called Together We Will Dream On. And there you can also post your dream or your vision to help inspire other people that use Instagram and others in general. And another seed idea that I have planted is it's with my YouTube channel and my interviews, because I plan to interview many people around the world to help inspire and motivate others to start helping us and joining our team and this journey that we are all taking right now. So those right there are my 2 seed ideas that I am currently trying to grow. Together We Will Dream On and my interviews.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I feel like what we're trying to set up here is a way that young people like you can say, well, this is what's important to me. This is my vision of what I'd like to happen in the world. And can we do this together? And that's the kind of this idea that we are the youth and the elders working together to make a world that works for all. So speaking of elders, why don't we ask, born in a cloud of smoke, do you have a seed idea to plant in the gardens of global unity?
Oh, I think I do. I think I got a couple of ideas. One of them is I'm gonna be introducing people to the earth. So one of their relatives, like I said, if you we take care of what we care about, and I'm only gonna be here for a little while, so I want to play while I'm here, and so I'm gonna take some young people and we're gonna play, because if we play out there and oh boy, hey Adrian, you ever climb a tree? Oh, it's lots of fun. You can learn lots when you're in a tree. Yeah. Maybe we'll go swimming. I bet you've been swimming, huh, Adrian? Yeah. So, the things we want to be introducing, because I got these things I'm planting, and hopefully I'm planting them in my children and grandchildren. They're really the leaders. So I was thinking about that Power America business too. And I was thinking about those town hall meetings. We call them a little different. We just call them family councils. So we'd be talking around our kitchen table, and then we'd be talking at the post office. Then we'd be talking at the courthouse if we have to go to the courthouse for things like paying taxes and stuff like that. We got to be there. So might as well have another conversation. So that's all. Those are kind of things. And then that Shannon, she told me I got to help out with the interdependence. So I'm going to be saying something every single day during the 11 campaigns, just a little introduction. And I want to play, so I'm going to make it fun. So we're going to have a little game to play. And then at the end of the 11 days, you're going to have a beautiful piece of artwork that maybe you're going to send to Adrian. Oh, how about that? That would work, huh, Adrian? Yeah, I'll help you out there. Oh, it'll be fun. So, yep, that's my seed idea. And Shannon is making me do some stuff too, so I'll be there.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it's just so great to see the bringing the fun and the games, add that to the songs and the dances and the collaborative storytelling adventure that we're working on. That's my seed idea, is that we'll be putting together a story during this next school year that everybody has a role to play in. And so we're going to be.
Well, that's that Power America business. It takes everybody, right?
That's
and
it.
The other thing about that power is that, we're not just talking about power in your computer. We're talking about people power too. And the power that we have to make the world we want to have for everybody. So yeah, we'll figure out how we can make that happen.
All right.
Oh, thank you for letting me be here tonight. Oh.
And Jim, would you like to finish by sharing something that you would like to plant in our gardens of global unity?
I think just continued unity around nature, around our planet, around relearning how to teach, how to react to everything with respect and balance and love.
Wow, thank you. And we will see how we can help that to grow and grow and grow. So that's what we're up to, Rick, with our plans for 11 days. We want to make everybody's vision a reality. So helping to find what that vision is for each of us, and then reaching out to find people on our team of all ages. And I figure we've got children, youth, adults, elders. I wanted to mention I think it was just last month when we did our Welcome to We show, we had some young people and they gave out an urgent message from your children, from our children. And they are calling for 1 million kids to talk about what they're concerned about with what's happening with the earth and what their hopes and dreams are for a better planet and a wonderful place that we call Earth our home. And so, Rick, I would like to just invite you to keep an eye on all of these seeds growing in the gardens of global unity during 11 days in September.
Sure. And also, since you mentioned an urgent message from your children, people can go to that website to see the messages from our children. And if there's anyone, any of our young friends, they may be able to add their voices there as well. And that is weyourchildren.org. weyourchildren.org. So shall we wrap things up? Adrian, did you want to say a last word before you take off?
I would like to, first of all, thank Sue and Rick for having us here, and for letting us share our voices and our visions and all these prophecies to the world out there. I hope that whoever's watching also learned something and felt inspired to do something. And I hope everyone a great day and good luck on this journey that we're all in right now.
Thank you so much, Adrian. It's so great to be on this journey with you. We all appreciate you and what you are bringing to this movement to create a world that works for all. So maybe I'll make a few announcements before we finish up. The next Welcome to We show will be on August 10th, which will be the second Tuesday of the month. We're doing the Welcome to We show on the second Tuesday of each month now. Also coming up in a couple of days, if you're watching this and you are able to join, we have the We Campaign for Women monthly networking meeting on Thursday, July 17th, also at 6 p.m. Eastern time. This will be hosted by our coordinator for our campaign for women and allies of women. That's Karen Palmer, and I'll be co-hosting with her. If you're interested, you can find out more by sending an email to women@wetheworld.org. Or you can just find us on our Facebook page, the We Campaign, which is facebook.com/the We Campaign. That's where we have all of our live broadcasts. I also want to mention our online magazine called Trends in Global Grassroots Organizing. So you can meet the change agents and movements creating peace, justice, sustainability, and transformation. Just go to trends.we.net. And we have our Global Unity Calendar, which is at globalunitycalendar.org. You can actually post your own social change and cultural events for a global audience there. And it's in general, you can learn more and get involved by going to we.net. So as our dear friend Jonathan Granoff said when we first launched the We Campaign, I hope that we expand so much that there's no longer any them. So thank you. With that, it's all about we, and thank you and goodbye. Bye-bye.